Hi everyone, my name is Vincent Nicandro. I am a master's student at Stanford studying HCI, and I just wanted to hop on and share some of the sketchnoting techniques I've learned over the past 2 years as I've sketchnoted. Now, I am by no means an expert on it, but I love it dearly, and I honestly think everyone has the capacity to appreciate it as a kind of focused doodling. And I hope by the end of whatever course you're taking, you'll come to appreciate that too. For the purposes of this demonstration, I've pulled a time-lapse of a previous sketchnote I've done from a class on game design where the topic was game balance. As you can tell, this is a digital sketchnote, and I did this in Procreate, which is a fantastic drawing app that I highly recommend. But there's a host of other great apps you can use too, like Notability, GoodNotes. I think even the Apple Notes app is pretty powerful. And honestly, nothing beats pen and paper. I just happen to like digital tools because of their modularity, and also I'm super indecisive over where things should go, and you'll see that sometimes I'll erase and redo things multiple times until I feel I got it right. I'm looking at that ability versus challenges graph, having done that multiple times. You don't have to do that at all whatsoever. Let's see. I like doing the sketchnote title first because it's honestly such a fun part and also intentionally the most attention-grabbing part of the sketchnote. Related, a habit I've gotten used to is picking two colors that I like, or I think work well together, and using them as the key colors throughout the sketchnote. Here in this sketchnote, it's blue and red. I think it unifies all the different sections together in a really nice, harmonious way, even as I play around with so many things like typography, layout, and sketches. And also this is a good time to point out that anything I say isn't really a rule or even a guideline. It's just things to keep in mind as you're working on your sketchnotes. Another thing to keep in mind early on is often that the readings you do or the readings you're assigned have these great headings. That's still the point of that section in a few words or a simple phrase. I like writing those phrases out because that's how I plan on organizing the sketchnote. So as you can see, I've already done that with the numbered sections 1 through 4, and outside of the sketchnote header, my eyes are drawn to those things, which is important for when I go back to review these notes. Doing that skim through ahead before doing your sketchnote is a great way to signpost and know what topics you'll be touching on as you do your sketchnote. This is also a good time to point out that I do these sketchnotes as I read them. Some people like doing very rough sketches through their first pass without concern for things like layouts and colors and stuff, and then they'll come back a little bit later, maybe after a break so that they see it with fresh eyes, and then they come back to do a real, more formatted version. There's not really a right way to approach it, and in fact, as you can see here, I'd probably go back to revise this because it's hard to navigate through the specific sections beyond the number placement. And also, as you'll soon realize here, I ran out of space and so I had to expand the canvas a bit. But that's fine. The sketchnote is from me and I know what I meant, and that's the most important thing. Another thing I rely a lot on is visual vocabulary that I've developed over doing many sketchnotes. As you can see, I love banners and thought bubbles and arrows and game pieces and bounding boxes because they're great ways to demarcate single thoughts. It's also a great way to unify separate thoughts together through proximity and similarity, and also draw attention to important concepts. Another thing that draws attention to important concepts is typography, which is also super important to me. I like seeing words and phrases and concepts that look like what they're talking about. So for instance, a huge and balanced seesaw for game balance, or the cost curves that take up the space of the curve itself. At the same time, I have a very consistent sort of neutral body text because it would honestly be too much if every single word was loud and competing for attention. Again, like with my visual lexicon, I have a library of sorts for typography, and I suggest you build one too. In this sketchnote alone, I see 6 or 7 different styles, ranging from cursive to faux calligraphy to block lettering. I see italics and boldface, wide lettering and thin lettering, And all that is super important in varying the look of your sketchnote, and all of that comes with practice and effort. And with that, so it looks like I'm wrapping up my sketchnote here, and I'm trying to cram the last bits of important info here. So I'll just let this wrap up, and I hope you found something here useful. And if you didn't, that's okay. Everyone sketchnotes differently, and I think seeing how other people sketchnote is a valuable way to learn new techniques and also judge for yourself what you like and don't like to do when you sketchnote. Thanks for watching.